where you see the storm going and how it impacts actually has a lot of weight. Talk me through what you're seeing.
So at this stage, we're very confident the storm is going to make landfall somewhere in South Florida. Exactly where, it is still too early to say. Any type of 20 or 30 mile wobble with this eye can really take it slightly off of its modeled course. But southern Florida is looking just increasingly likely for that landfall, and those in the area need to finish preparing at this stage as the storm bears down.
And so you also look at the Weather Service, take a look at water and winds. Tell us what you're looking at there. So
recently, as you mentioned, the storm was downgraded to a Category 4 hurricane with sustained winds of 155 miles per hour. That does not mean that anyone should take this storm any more lightly. The storm is going through what is called an eye wall replacement cycle, where the inner eye wall is weakening and the outer eye wall that contains those strongest winds are strengthening. That means that the wind field within the storm is actually going to widen. You're going to see a larger area of tropical storm and hurricane force winds.
So that means like the dark area gets wider?
So the dark area will get wider. And in fact, in the latest update from the National Hurricane Center, we're seeing them widen out those graphics that you're seeing. Higher probabilities of sustained tropical storm and hurricane force winds across much of the southern extent of Florida. And the storm looks likely to ride right up the state, meaning you could easily see hurricane force winds 50, 100, 150 miles north of that southern coast.
How does that compare, that wind speed, to other storms that we've seen?
So compared to other storms, this right now is no longer known as one of the strongest storms, down to a Category 4. We have seen a Category 5 hurricane landfall in Florida before with Hurricane Andrew back in 1992. But this storm set the record for being sustained at 185 mile per hour winds for the longest amount of time in the Atlantic basin. This storm has an amazing amount of energy and continues to grow in size. And one of the concerns there is it's not going to weaken that dramatically upon making landfall. You're going to see it sustain some of those very strong winds as it moves inland. It will gradually weaken over time, of course, but you're worried that even away from the coast, you could get some very damaging winds with this major hurricane.